Moberly police are investigating a shots fired call behind a local bank.
An Amber Alert is out for a 1-year-old missing from Springfield.
And how city lawmakers are spending thousands in grant money to crack down on underage drinking. KOMU 8 News at 6 starts right now.
From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 6.
Moberly police officials are still investigating a shots fired call that came in early this morning. Good evening, I'm Lauren Richardson.
And I'm Elise O'Joney. The call came in at around 3 a.m. and a search warrant was obtained for a residence in the 800 block of North Alt Street. Police closed off the back of the Citizens Bank and Trust on Morley Street while investigating the call. 3 suspects were detained in that residence. Now, the investigation is still ongoing and no formal charges have been filed at this time. There were also no injuries reported because of this incident.
An Amber Alert is out for a 1-year-old missing in Springfield, Missouri. Harmony J. Blue was taken from the Save-A-Lot store on Commercial Street by a white female with blonde hair driving a stolen gray 2002 Nissan Maxima, license plate number YG6K5R. Harmony is a black baby girl with black hair and brown eyes. She is wearing a blue one-piece sleeper. If you have any information on the abduction, call the Springfield Police Department at 417-864-1810.
Well, good evening. We'll now have all your details of your next 8 days coming up in just a few minutes.
In its last meeting, the Columbia City Council accepted a grant that renews state funding specifically intended to stop underage drinking.
The Enforcing Underage Drinking Laws grant gives more than $14,000 each year to the Columbia Police Department. KOMU 8's Dan Malloy tells us how law enforcement utilizes that grant.
It's nearing the weekend and Hit Street Mini Mart just north of the MU campus is full of potential alcohol buyers. But owner Sonny Patel knows not everyone is who they say they are.
Fake ID, that's fake ID, that's Illinois fake ID.
This year, the Missouri Department of Public Safety offered Columbia another Enforcing Underage Drinking Laws grant. One downtown officer says since the original grant in 2007, local establishments have taken notice of the increased focus on minors.
We have more clerks actually checking identification, actually looking at dates of birth, and a lot more places passing, which means to us that a lot more places are being more careful about who they sell alcohol to.
A portion of this grant funds compliance checks in which an undercover minor presents a false identification while attempting to purchase alcohol. If the sale goes through, the store would be issued a citation, but if the sale is rejected, 2 undercover police officers would let store management know that they passed the check. In Patel's 9 years as the boss of the Hit Street Mini Mart, the store has received just 1 such citation, but he says he was not at work at the time. He gives credit to his zero-tolerance underage policy, but also to good police work.
They send the undercover customer too to check it out, make sure we are doing the right job or not. They are doing good job too, you know.
But Patel does not need an officer's help to distinguish a fake ID. Dan Malloy, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.
Officer Alan Mitchell says there will always be businesses that push back against this grant, but says most businesses are on the same side as law enforcement.
A series of automatic budget cuts have taken effect today as a result of the sequester approval last night, but the dates for many changes are still unknown. Beginning today, Air Force flying hours will be reduced. This is just the start of the cuts for the Air Force. The budget reduced by about 9% effective now. We spoke to MU's Lieutenant Colonel Wayne Doherty from the Air Force ROTC about what these cuts would mean for the program. He said it's unknown whether, when, or how scholarships will be reduced, but that the organization has been preparing for the changes. The cuts will come as government organizations plan their upcoming budgets. Medicare payments to providers will see a 2% cut in its April budget. The Federal Aviation Administration announced furloughs could begin as early as April 7th, which will affect 5 Missouri airports, including Columbia Regional and Jefferson City Memorial. The FDA has not released when their cuts will take effect, but it could mean a meat and poultry shortage due to reduction in food inspections.
A nationwide effort dealing with an issue among public employee unions has come to a standstill in the Missouri Senate. The debate is over banning public employee unions from automatically taking out money for dues from a member's paycheck. Senate Republican leaders say the issue is a priority that will make the state's business climate better. Meanwhile, Democrats are blocking the measure, saying it harms unions and solves a problem that does not exist.
Services for the blind are again in the crosshairs of potential budget cuts in Missouri. A House Appropriations Committee says it wants to eliminate funding for a program that helps the blind find jobs. But the lawmaker chiefly responsible for the cut says she is now rethinking that recommendation. Republican House member Sue Allen of St. Louis County says she thought she was only cutting administrative expenses when she made that recommendation.
The Cole County Sheriff's Department says it conducted a one-of-a-kind active shooter training today at Russellville High School. The department specifically designed the program to train deputy sheriffs to immediately respond to active shooter incidents individually without waiting for backup. Sheriff Greg White says they are possibly the first department in the nation to conduct this training approach. He says it's especially important because gun violence has significantly increased in the area. The class addressed mental preparation for officer response, tactics, and more. Also in preparation of an active shooter occurrence, some parents are going great lengths to see that their child is protected in school. After weather, find out about this new bulletproof plan.
And we're going to be dry for the rest of our weekend, but the start of our work week looks to be wet yet again. I'll have all the details coming up in my full forecast right after the break.